There is no doubt that the fashion industry is a huge contributor to global pollution and waste. By now, it is a well-known fact that we are consuming far too many clothes, and worst of all, the companies that are making these clothes are producing way more than we need. As conscious consumers, we can do multiple things to shop more sustainably. So in today's video, I'm sharing with you 12 ways that you can shop fashion sustainably. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Emily. I make slow fashion styling videos to help you dress better and get the most out of your wardrobe, while always encouraging you to be a conscious consumer. So if that sounds like something you like, then please stick around to support this channel. 12 ways to shop fashion sustainably, plus a bonus tip at the end. We're going to start with second-hand shopping. Buying second-hand pieces is one of the best ways that you can shop fashion sustainably. When you buy something second-hand, you are saying no to bringing a new piece of clothing into the world. So some of my favorite wardrobe pieces are second-hand, but also some of my biggest wardrobe mistakes are second-hand pieces too. That's why it's really important to make conscious, well thought out decisions when you're buying things second-hand. If you're buying things second-hand online, make sure that you ask as many questions as possible so that you really understand what that garment is like. So if you have questions about the fit, whether the fabric is stretchy, what it's made out of, if they don't specify that, any kind of questions like this, ask as many questions as possible so that you're likely to make less mistakes when buying second-hand. Another thing you need to do is hold off from buying secondhand pieces as an impulse purchase. If you plan what secondhand pieces you want rather than just browsing, and you do thorough research, then that will help you with not making any impulse purchases. Number 2, materials and fabric. The materials and fabrics that we wear on a day-to-day basis make up a huge part of global pollution and waste. It starts from the very beginning of their life when these materials are made or grown, and it goes right up to the end of their life where these pieces of clothing are unwearable and essentially they end up in a landfill. So what I'm saying is there is a footprint that each item leaves behind right from the beginning to the end. And I like to remind myself of this footprint every time I bring a new piece of clothing into my life. So when fabrics are grown or produced, they can cause different levels of pollution and harm to the environment. For example, polyester, which is a fabric that is used very highly in the fast fashion industry, that's one of the worst fabrics that we can choose. That's because essentially polyester is plastic. Other synthetic fibers like lycra, nylon, fabrics like that also use a large amount of fossil fuels in their production. Synthetic fibers use far more energy than natural fibers do to produce. So what I'm saying here is natural fibers should essentially be your go-to when buying new clothes. With that being said, there are a few new innovative, futuristic fibers that are man-made that have been created to help with this problem that we have, and they do use a lot less energy. The entire topic of fabrics is very complicated, so I will link a few very good blog posts from GoodOnYou in the description below if you want to read further into this, because it's too much for me to go into detail in this one video about it, and I don't want to overwhelm. But what I want to do is just bring to your attention that you should be looking at the label of a garment when you buy it. That should be an important thing to you if you want to be more conscious about your shopping habits and be more sustainable. So look at a label every time you buy something new. If you don't recognize what that fabric is, then give it a quick Google, see how good or how bad this fabric is for the environment, and then make your decision from then. So next up is to shop your own wardrobe. The number one thing that you can do to shop more sustainably is, well, to not shop at all, and instead to shop your own wardrobe. Shopping your own wardrobe simply means getting creative with what you already own, re-falling in love with pieces that you haven't worn for a while, or just re-wearing your favorite pieces, or maybe even, if you're game, altering a piece in your wardrobe so that it becomes a new piece. So next time you feel the urge to buy something new for an event or an occasion, instead try to find a piece in your wardrobe that you have worn before and see if you can style it in a different way. Challenge yourself to style this piece in 3 different ways. Get creative with your accessories, maybe even try a different hairstyle, and that might change how the outfit looks to you as well. My personal mantra is to buy less and wear more, which means buy less, new things and wear more of what I already own in my wardrobe. I keep this mantra with me all the time. You guys have heard me say it a lot, and you guys know that this is the root of all of the content that I share online. Quality over quantity. If you aim to buy quality pieces over quantity of pieces, this is a really simple way to shop more sustainably. And I'm not talking about buying luxury brands. I'm simply saying less is more, and quality should be what's more important to you than buying lots and lots and lots of things. Quality pieces will also likely last a lot longer in your wardrobe than pieces that haven't been made very well and pieces that have been made cheaply. Also, I often find that the way that we treat our clothes is often reflected by the price that we paid for it. So for instance, if I paid $50 for a t-shirt instead of $5 for a t-shirt, I would usually automatically treat that $50 t-shirt with more respect and consideration and care compared to the t-shirt that only cost me $5. Because, you know, the t-shirt that cost me $5, that can just easily be replaced. Doesn't matter if I lose it, doesn't matter if I wreck it. It was only $5, right? But the $50 t-shirt, that hurt my bank account a little more, so maybe I'll treat it with a little bit more respect. So I think consider saving and investing in quality pieces from ethical brands if you can, to try to help to change your attitude towards your clothing. On that note, buying from sustainable and ethical brands. If you do need to invest in new clothes, buying from sustainable and ethical brands should be your first option. Of course, if it is available to you and if it's within your budget. I find that the prices of ethical and sustainable brands really can vary. Like, a lot can be expensive, but there are some that are very affordable as well. You just have to do a bit of research and find the ones that are within your budget. And also remember that if you are buying less clothes overall, which is the main goal after all, if you're buying less clothes, then paying a little bit extra for one piece that has been made ethically shouldn't be too much of a problem, because you're buying less, if that makes sense. GoodOnYou is my favorite website and app to find ethical and sustainable brands from all across the world. And what they do is they rate the brands. So you can just pop your favorite brand into their search bar on their website or their app. It'll give you all the information about how sustainable and how ethical they are, and then you can make an informed decision from there. I also really find their blog posts very informative, and I learn a lot from their new blog posts as well. Clothes swaps. Clothes swaps can be as simple as borrowing your friend or family's clothes for certain events or occasions, or you can even go to clothing swap events. This is where you bring a certain amount of clothes to the event with the intention of swapping them and giving them to someone else, and you can leave with someone else's clothes. So it's like a win-win. I've noticed these events popping up more regularly now in major cities. So just give a little Google of clothes swaps events. You never know, there might be one close to you. It could be a fun thing to do with a friend. You can make a night of it. Or if you want, you can organize a clothes swap within your group of friends as well. Renting. Renting clothes is particularly good for events like weddings or engagement parties, special occasions, when you want to wear something beautiful, something new, something you've never been seen in before, but maybe you don't want to wear it again. It's a great way not to reintroduce a new piece into the world when there is already enough pieces out there in circulation for us. Just try Googling clothing rental companies in your local area, or you can also search on Depop for people who are renting out their clothes in your local area too. Shop locally. So I think it's very easy to forget how far an item can travel across the world before it ends up on your front doorstep. Buying continuously from overseas brands does rack up some not so eco-friendly air miles. So if you want to shop more sustainably, you can try to source what you need locally. If you're here in Australia like me, you can check out the website Ethical Clothing Australia for a great place to find brands that manufacture here locally in Australia. I will make sure to link that website in the description box below too. Know your style. Having a clear idea of your personal style and knowing what colors and shapes look good on you is such a great way to eventually shop more sustainably. Once you've figured this out for yourself, you're less likely to impulse buy or to buy items that go unworn in your wardrobe. Honestly, once you figure this out, you will also stop chasing the need to have more new things in your wardrobe, because when you don't really understand your style or you're not really happy with your wardrobe, you always feel like there's a gap and there's something that you need to fill and a hole you need to fill. So often we tend to just buy to try fix that. So once you know your style, you're going to be buying less and you're going to be making way more intentional decisions on your clothes, and that ultimately helps you to shop more sustainably. Figuring out your personal style though can be really challenging, and it often changes over the course of your life. So that is why I like to talk about personal style a lot on my blog and my YouTube channel. So definitely subscribe if you haven't already, if you think that that kind of content will be helpful for you. Last year I created a series on YouTube called Finding My Personal Style Again. That series has some awesome tips if you are also struggling with your personal style. So I'll make sure I'll link that above and below in the description for you. Plan your purchases and keep a wish list. Becoming a conscious consumer really means slowing down and thinking hard about all of the purchases and all of the things that you bring into your life. When you do this, it means overall that you are less likely to make mistake purchases and therefore waste clothing. Planning your wardrobe and keeping a wish list of items before you buy them is a great way to shop fashion sustainably and consciously. I personally keep a wish list in the notes section of my phone, including all of the links to the items. Sometimes I will completely forget about an item that I've put in there, and then I automatically know that that's not really going to serve a purpose in my wardrobe. But other times an item I'm thinking about a lot and I'm continuing my research and I'm looking for it secondhand and it's all I can think about, and I know it's really going to work with all these other things in my wardrobe, and that's usually when I commit to buying a new item. That's when I know that I've made a conscious decision and it's less likely to be a mistake, and it's going to be something that I treasure in my wardrobe for a long time. With that being said, there's still a lot of mistakes made, so be gentle with yourself, because it's very normal to make mistakes, especially when you are trying to figure out your personal style as well. Doing regular wardrobe audits and keeping a clean and well organized wardrobe will also help you plan your future purchases better. Invest in classics over trends. Shopping for trend pieces can be so dangerous. Often we get that nagging feeling like we need a trend item and we need it now. Then a few weeks or months pass and all of a sudden that trend piece isn't as trendy or valuable as we used to think. And then new trends come in to replace the old trends, and it's like a vicious cycle. Therefore, having a wardrobe that isn't chasing trends and is mainly made out of classic, timeless pieces can help you to create a more sustainable wardrobe. And it also reduces that feeling of needing to shop more and continuously replace your items. If I feel like I want to invest in a new trend, I will always put that trend on my wish list before making any impulse purchases. And then I often try to source the trend secondhand, because trends always come in and out, in and out. And then if I can't find it secondhand, then I'll look for an ethical and sustainable brand that sells it. So I've got a bonus tip for you guys now, and that is a question that I like to ask myself a lot if I am shopping for a new piece. Ask yourself before you buy something, can you make 3 outfits from that item? This is my favorite shopping tip, and it's something that I do with almost everything that I buy. Whether I'm in the change room at a store or if I'm buying online, I will always try to create at least 3 different outfits with that piece, with pieces that are already in my wardrobe. This way I know that this new piece will fit seamlessly into my wardrobe and that I'll be getting a lot of wear out of it. According to onegreenplanet.org, wearing clothing 50 times instead of 5, which is the fast fashion average, reduces carbon emissions by 400% per item per year. So wear your clothes, wear them as much as you can until they fall apart, and then mend them and wear them again. I made an awesome video on how to stop wasting money on clothes that you don't wear. I've linked that here on the screen for you to watch next. I've also linked my personal style series here for you too as well. Don't forget to spread kindness this week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.